Hi, welcome to Analytics for All. This is lesson 2 of our second module of our Python for Data Science course. This is the module on data manipulation and management. And in this lesson, we're going to be introduced to Numpy. Numpy and Pandas are two Python modules which are going to make up the majority of this section of the course. These systems are designed to help you really manage and work with data, and I think these two modules are part of the reason that data scientists and data analysts are driven to work with Python. Now, as with all my lessons, I have a full write-up on my website, analyticsforall.org. I'll put a link for this down in the description. Please visit the site. I've got a whole bunch of more information on here beyond just the course and beyond just Python. But we're going to go ahead and pop over into our Jupyter Notebook, and we will zoom in and get started. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to import NumPy, and I'm saying as NP. The reason I say this NP is I'm aliasing NumPy. So by doing this, when I go to use it later in the program, all I have to type is NP. I don't have to type out the whole word NumPy the entire time. So we're going to import NumPy, and then we're going to do is we're going to create our first array. Now, an array is a special feature in NumPy. And here you can have single list arrays, as we're going to do right now. And you'll say this looks kind of like a list, right? But notice it does say it's an array. It's wrapped in features here. You can still call on it like a list. And you have this feature called shape. And this tells us 3 is nothing. It means all we have is 3 elements in one row. Okay? Now, the cool thing about NumPy and arrays is we can create multi-row or multi-dimensional arrays. Okay? A multi-dimensional array, let's create this here. Now, see, I want you to notice here, I have in the syntax, these two segments here, these two lists inside the quick list, are encapsulated in another list concept and called on with the np.array as the method. But when I do this, look, I get 2 rows, or I get a multi-dimensional array. Now, anybody, those of you who took linear algebra in college, you'll know a multi-dimensional array is called a matrix, and matrices are very powerful when it comes to manipulating data, and they are pretty much the driving force behind most machine learning tools out there. It's some type of matrix manipulation, multiplication, looking for eigenvectors, that kind of stuff. If you didn't take linear algebra in college, you were probably out making friends and having a good time, unlike me. So we're not going to dive too deep, but I'll try to cover the bases we need as we go along so you understand what's going on. But anyway, so let's real quick recapitulate what we've done so far here and just say that what we're working on with NumPy here is an array. An array can be just a single row, like a list, or it can be multi-dimensional. Okay, now I've done this multi-dimensional. Watch when I hit the shape now, when I hit, say, Y for shape, it tells me I have 2 rows, 3 values each. Okay, and I can call on these in, you know what, but this might be a computer. Let's just simplify this out here. Bring in something. And you'll notice here, so as opposed to like when we had the list with X, or the single digit array, I just had one value and put in here, and this would return a value. Now, with the array, with a multi-dimensional array, I now have to put in two values. So I have to say, we're looking at this up here. So if I want to get this 7 here, okay, so we know this 7 is 0, we go starting 0 in Python, 0, 1, 2. So we know that, and we happen to know it's in the first list, which is 0, right? So we go ahead and we type in 0 for the first list and 2, and this should return 7. There you go. And if I want to go to the second row, I would just say 1. And if I want this number here, 5, we got 0, 1, so 1, 1. And that will return 5. And you can see down here, I can do it in a print statement, just separating them with commas. And there we go. So we got 0, 1. So 0, 1 gave us 3. 1, this is 1, and then 1, 2. 0, 1, 2 gives us 9. So that's sorry, just 1, 2. So it's 1, so the second row here, then 0, 1, 2, 9. Then this one's 0, 0. So first row, first element, 1. Okay? So that's how that works. Now I'm going to go ahead and get some spaces down here so I can scroll up for you. All right. Okay, so another thing we're going to work on is a cool feature called Arrange. If you saw my last lesson, I kind of hinted at this one. I showed it to you, didn't show it though. It's a really quick and easy way to make automatically fill in array. So I just type in np arrange and 5, and it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it stops at 5. Almost like a for loop type. It's a loop. Basically, it loops and tells you. Now we can add in here, instead of having to write a whole for loop, what we can just say, I want 1 to 20, but I want to step by 4. So you see here it goes 1, 5, 9, 13. And notice I started at 1, so it didn't start with 0, because I told it not to start at 0. We could also step backwards. I got 19 to 3, 8, and I have a negative 3. Watch this. It'll go backwards. Boom, boom. So 19 counts back by 3. Stops. It doesn't get to 8 because from 10 went back 3, it'd be 7, so it just stops at 10. So again, so you have your start, your stop, and your step. And if you're going to have a negative step, make sure your start is bigger than your stop. And this can be as big as you want. But it's a really quick way to make a list of numbers. Another cool thing you can do is you can apply the reshape feature here. So watch this. I'm going to put in for a range of 10. So this is going to return. Here, if I just do this, just to start. So this will return, and if you guys don't know the pound sign or hashtag, if you're under my age, that comments it out, so it won't run this. So we'll say npay range 10, and that comes out 0 to 9. Okay. Now, if I put these back, now I'm going to apply this reshape function. Okay. I'm going to tell it I want it to be 2 rows, 5 elements each. There you go. So now I have a multi-dimensional array. 2 rows, 5 each. Okay, another cool thing we can do is we can transpose. That's what this is called. I'll put a note here so you guys can read this. This is called transposing. What does transpose do? It's going to flip this thing on its side. Here, let me show you. So the code is just, I'm going to say T, I'm going to take Y dot capital T. And I go. Now, I don't have to put the numpy here in front of this anymore because it knows it's numpy because the numpy was sent to the variable. So the variable inherited the fact that this is a numpy tool. So you'll notice that sometimes. You're like, hey, how come I didn't have to put np here or anything in front? Because this variable was made as an np object, so it inherits all the values by np. But you see what it did? We transposed, we turned it on its side. So now you have 5 rows of 2 elements each. Okay? And finally, we can do is called dot product or adult multiplication here. This is really popular and used. And this is such a time-consuming thing to do manually. This is a thing you'll learn in linear algebra, but we do it really quick. Bang. And it returns the dot product. What we're doing is we're multiplying this array right here with this array right here down by its side, and it gets us these elements here. I'm not going to drive into how you do the dot multiplication here. I'll tell you what I've got for you is, if we go back to my site, if you go to the web page and the link, and you scroll down, I've got a website here down towards the bottom which teaches matrix multiplication. And you can kind of read. This does it so much better than I can show it. It's called Math is Fun. It's actually kind of a cool site if you ever checked it out. But it'll walk you through how we're multiplying matrix. But you can see this is what we're doing here, dot product. So what we did is we multiply 1, 2, 3 times 1, 2, 3, like these. And then do the same thing over here. And that's how you get the different values that all fill in. And you can read this if you want. But again, the link for it is down at the bottom of my site, my page for this one. And I'll have the link down in the description. Again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you like this. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be making a lot more like this. And if you have any requests, something you want me to go over, something you're confused about, you're not sure, I do take requests. I do make videos based on that if it's something I can do. And anyway, thank you for visiting, and I hope to see you again. Thank you very much.